The 5 most dangerous places on Earth to see wild animals. Around the world, there are many dangerous creatures that are capable of mauling, eating, and/or envenoming humans. However, not all parts of the world are created equal, and some places have more dangerous animals than others. We've gathered together the 5 most dangerous places on Earth to see wild animals. Check it out. Number 5. Northern Australia. Despite having a reputation for harboring highly venomous creatures, Australia is not as dangerous as popularly thought, and that's why it's only ranked at number 5 on this list. That said, Australia does have its share of deadly animals, especially in the tropical north. Many of these animals dwell in the ocean, where most people won't encounter them. Box jellyfish. The most dangerous animals in all of Australia thrive in the tropical waters of the land down under. And, hands down, box jellyfish are the most dangerous of them all. Box jellyfish are a class of highly venomous jellyfish that include species like the sea wasp and the rucangi. Not only are these jellyfish hard to see in the deceptively deadly waters during the warmer months, but they can also kill in as little as 2 minutes. In fact, box jellyfish have claimed over 64 lives in Australia since 1883. In addition to box jellyfish, the waters are teeming with other highly venomous creatures. Stonefish, which are among the most venomous fish in the ocean, hide among the rocks and sand. Sea snakes, which are among the most venomous snakes in the world, slink through the water column. Cone snails, which are highly venomous marine snails, slide across the sea floor. And blue-ringed octopi, which have enough venom to kill 26 adult humans in minutes, crawls among the crevices. Saltwater crocodiles and bull sharks. In coastal waterways around Australia's tropical north, you'll also encounter saltwater crocodiles, which are the largest reptiles in the world, and bull sharks, which are responsible for more shark attacks than any other shark species. Both of these aquatic predators share common traits. First, they both have a reputation for extreme aggression and highly predatory behavior towards humans. And, second, they both are happy in saltwater and freshwater. Unlike most other crocodilians, saltwater crocs are not confined to freshwater, and they will cruise up and down coastlines and, even, across oceans. Similarly, unlike other sharks, bull sharks are not confined to saltwater, and they will venture miles up rivers. So how do you avoid these crocs and sharks? Well, don't swim in waterways known to harbor crocs and sharks. Ideally, when you're in their range, just stick to a pool. Coastal taipans. In the bush, there are a host of venomous critters. But snakes are the most threatening. The worst of the lot is the coastal taipan. The coastal taipan is the 3rd most venomous snake in the world, and it inhabits Australia's north. Among venomous snakes, it is considered extremely dangerous and rivals only Africa's black mamba in ferocity. When surprised or cornered, they will strike repeatedly and deliver high doses of venom. However, if they have the opportunity to flee, they usually will. Next. 4. United States and Canada. With so many highly venomous creatures, Australia might seem more dangerous than the United States and especially more dangerous than Canada. However, many of Australia's creatures are small and afraid of people, and they don't have rabies. On the other hand, in the United States and Canada, bigger and more aggressive animals roam, and many of them do have rabies. From alligators and cottonmouths in Florida to grizzly bears and wolves in Alaska, North America has a rather deadly selection of wildlife. Cougars and wolves. Before the Industrial Revolution, North America was a very dangerous place. European settlers arrived in an unfamiliar and uninviting land, jam-packed with hostile creatures. Cougars and gray wolves were found all across the continent, and grizzly bears were populous in the western states. Today, cougars are extinct in all of the eastern states and provinces, except Florida, and wolves and grizzlies are mainly confined to national parks in the far northwestern portions of North America. But that doesn't mean the modern American wilderness is devoid of dangerous wildlife. In the western U.S., cougars are still common, and they have been known to devour children. When they attack, they bite their prey's neck from behind, rendering them helpless. Worse yet, when female cougars are in heat, they literally sound like a screaming woman. You do not want to get stuck out in the wilderness with a cougar on your tail. In contrast, wolves are practically extinct in the continental US, but they are very common throughout Canada and Alaska. In recent decades, coyotes have been moving east, taking over ranges that formerly belonged to wolves. Some of these coyotes have mated with wolves, creating coyote-wolf hybrids that are much bulkier than their western coyote counterparts. Bears. While grizzly bears are practically extinct in the lower 48 states and eastern Canada, in western Canada and Alaska, grizzlies are still prevalent. In popular culture, they have earned a fearsome reputation, and that reputation is not undeserved. However, grizzlies are not nearly as dangerous as North America's polar bears, which are exclusively carnivorous and unafraid of humans, because they hardly ever come into contact with them. In addition to brown bears and polar bears, American black bears inhabit much of North America, and their historical range has not changed nearly as drastically as that of cougars, grizzlies, and wolves. Compared to brown bears and polar bears, black bears are generally less dangerous. However, due to their close proximity to humans in their range, they are responsible for more attacks, and some of them have been fatal. Moose, cow and bull. In addition to dangerous carnivores like cougars and wolves, the US and Canada also have potentially dangerous herbivores like moose and bison. When cornered or threatened, these seemingly placid creatures can be even more aggressive than grizzly bears and will charge and or trample the threat. In fact, worldwide, moose are responsible for more attacks than bears, and they injure more people than any other wild mammal, except hippos, alligators and other reptilian beasts. In contrast to the massive mammalian megafauna of northern North America, cold-blooded creatures dominate the southern portions. In waterways in the southeast US, American alligators are present, and they do not take kindly to intruders. While they are not as aggressive as crocodiles, big gators can crunch through limbs and easily drown people underwater. But they're not the only deadly reptiles around. In addition to alligators, other dangerous reptiles are found throughout the US and Canada. Many of these reptiles are venomous, such as cottonmouths, copperheads, rattlesnakes, and Gila monsters. If bitten by a rattlesnake or a cottonmouth, the venom is usually fatal, but if bitten by a copperhead or a Gila monster, the venom usually is not. Arizona bark scorpion and black widow spider. While North American arachnids generally aren't deadly to anyone other than children and senior citizens, they deserve an honorable mention. In particular, black widow spiders and Arizona bark scorpions are worth noticing. Both of these arachnids are around the size of coins, if not smaller, yet, they can deliver painfully potent venom. Next. 3. The Amazon. With piranhas and anacondas prowling the Amazon River and wandering spiders and jaguars prowling the Amazon rainforest, the Amazon is not a place where you'd want to get lost. There's a host of deadly animals that can envenom or overpower you. Bullet ants. One of the worst animals in the Amazon is also the most deceptive. The bullet ant looks no different from any other ant, but it has a devious secret. The bullet ant has the most potent and powerful sting of any insect, and that's how it gained its name. When stung, victims will feel pain for a full 24 hours after the sting. That's saying something. The most venomous spider in the world. Brazilian wandering spider. But, if bullet ants weren't bad enough, you also have to contend with the Brazilian wandering spider, which is the most venomous spider in the world. Due to their wandering habits, they are exceedingly dangerous because they often venture into populated areas and seek out dark places, such as boots, clothes, wood piles, and even bananas. One of the side effects of their venom? An erection that can last for hours. Jaguars. Aside from little creepy crawlies, the Amazon is home to bigger and more dangerous animals. Jaguars, which have the third most powerful bite force of all felines after tigers and lions, are native to the Amazonian ecosystem. With their sharp canine teeth, they can easily bite through a turtle's shell, and they have even been known to ambush and bite into the brain cases of caimans, which are relatives of alligators. Scary river monsters. In the Amazon River itself, there are plenty of horrifying beasts. Just ask Jeremy Wade, the host of Animal Planet's show River Monsters. Beneath the dark, brown murk, frightening predators lurk. Huge shoals of ravenous red-bellied piranhas strip flesh to the bone. Giant green anacondas capture and consume capybaras. Brutish black caimans ambush tapirs and giant otters. But, in the Amazon River, predators aren't the only critters that are dangerous. Freshwater stingrays, which have venomous barbs on their tails, are often more feared than piranhas. And electric eels, which are equally feared, can emit up to 600 volts. That's enough to kill a human. Next. 2. India. India has a variety of fierce predators that are unseen in most other countries. Between the tigers, bears, elephants, cobras, and crocodiles, there's really nowhere you can go without bumping into something dangerous. This danger is only exacerbated by India's high population and high population density. The big four venomous snakes. First off, India has snakes. Venomous snakes. India is actually home to the big four, which are 4 species of venomous snakes that are responsible for the most snake bites in South Asia. These snakes are the Indian cobra, the common krait, Russell's viper, and the saw-scaled viper. All 4 snakes are capable of killing humans. Bengal tigers and leopards. Big cats make India much more dangerous than other countries, especially with the presence of Bengal tigers. Tigers are the biggest and heaviest cats in the world, and as such, they have the most powerful bite force of all felines. This also means that they are at the top rung of the food chain in their native range, and humans are sometimes incorporated into the mix. In India, man-eating tigers are not unknown, and it's estimated that tigers have attacked and killed at least 373,000 people, mostly in southern Asia, between 1800 and 2009. In modern times, the Sundarbans in eastern India are a hotspot for tiger attacks on humans. Unfortunately, far more tigers have been killed by humans in that time span. In the early 20th century, there were over 100,000 tigers in the wild. Today, there is a little over 5,000 tigers. Even so, tigers aren't the only big cats in India. Indian leopards and Asiatic lions also call the country home. Like tigers, they can also be dangerous, but while Asiatic lions are rare and confined to a small region in India, man-eating Indian leopards are not unknown. In fact, one leopard in early 20th century India attacked and killed over 400 people. Sloth bears. Sloth bears are found almost exclusively in India, and they generally eat termites. Yet, when confronted, they can be rather aggressive. In this situation, they perceive the humans as predators and tend to stand their ground. This makes them especially perilous to encounter, and they can be even more dangerous than the infamous brown bears. In one case, a sloth bear, known as the sloth bear of Mysore, killed 12 people and mauled 24 others. Asian elephants. Would you piss off one of the biggest terrestrial animals in the world? If you said yes, you're probably going to get killed by an elephant in India. If not, you should be alright. However, on occasion, rogue elephants pop up, and they can be very dangerous. With long, sharp tusks that can impale a human like a kebab and thick, heavy feet that can crush a human like an eggshell, Asian elephants should be respected and approached with caution. Crocodiles and bull sharks. Like Australia, in Indian waterways, crocodiles and bull sharks are a serious danger. Mugger crocodiles, saltwater crocodiles, and bull sharks all inhabit Indian rivers and coastlines, and they are often sharing space with humans. Each of these animals is quite aggressive and has the ability to kill an adult human. And finally, 1. Sub-Saharan Africa. This should come as no surprise to anyone, even if you did expect Australia before clicking on this article. With big cats, crocodiles, hippos, venomous snakes, and horrendous diseases, Africa is definitely the most dangerous continent on Earth, and it's one of the few places where humans can still be eaten by predators in their everyday lives. Yet, with elephants, giraffes, and rhinoceroses. It's also one of the last bastions for terrestrial megafauna. The most dangerous animal in Africa. Hippopotamus. Hippopotamuses are probably the most dangerous animal in Africa. Not even lions or crocodiles can rival their death tolls. They're primarily herbivores, but they are highly aggressive and will destroy anyone in their territory. Not even crocodiles will mess with them. In fact, hippos will actually drive crocodiles out of their territory and/or kill them. When boats are in their territory, hippos will not hesitate to attack them either. In one recent and horrifying incident, a hippo capsized a boat full of school children in the Niger River and killed 13 out of roughly 18 people aboard. Big cats. Of course, big cats are among the most dangerous animals in Africa. Lions and leopards are both very dangerous and have been known to eat humans. The most infamous man-eating lions were the Tsavo man-eaters in Kenya. This pair of lions was said to have claimed 135 victims. Nile and West African crocodiles. Of all dangerous animals to appear on this list, crocodilians have been the most consistent, and in Africa, they are no exception. Nile crocodiles and West African crocodiles are native to sub-Saharan Africa, and of the two species, the Nile crocodile is the largest. Only the massive saltwater crocodile is bigger. But it's not just their size that makes them deadly. In Africa, there are more crocodile attacks than anywhere else in the world. Why? Here, people and crocodiles are often in close proximity. One study suggests that Nile crocodiles attack between 275 to 745 people a year, and of those attacks, 63% are fatal. Black mambas. In Africa, there are many venomous snakes capable of killing humans, but out of all of them, the black mamba is the most feared. Why? Because not only is the black mamba highly aggressive, horrendously venomous, and the second longest snake in the world, but it's also quite possibly the fastest snake in the world, moving at speeds up to 9.9 miles per hour, 16 kilometers per hour. Among dangerous snakes, the black mamba is ranked at the top with Australia's coastal taipan. Like the taipan, when they attack, they strike fiercely and repeatedly. However, unlike the taipan, black mambas do not deliver dry bites, where no venom is injected. Instead, they are known to have a 100% rate of envenomation. If you are attacked by a black mamba, and you don't have access to antivenin within 7 hours, you will probably not survive. Black mambas have the fastest acting venom of all snake species, and it can cause respiratory paralysis in as little as 15 minutes. Without antivenin, death occurs in 7–15 hours. African Cape buffalo. Like the moose in North America, African Cape buffalo are more dangerous than they appear. They are often referred to as the Black Death or Widowmaker. Every year, they injure and kill over 200 people. They are almost as dangerous as hippos and crocodiles, and they're certainly more dangerous than lions and leopards. African elephants and rhinos. Last but not least are the African elephants and the black and white rhinoceroses. These enormous mammals are the largest terrestrial animals alive. Yet, because of their size, they are dangerous. Like the Asian elephants in India, African elephants possess long, sharp tusks, and both black and white rhinos possess tall, curved horns. Both tusks and horns could easily gouge or gore a human, and when these huge beasts charge, they are essentially organic siege weapon, which is why Hannibal Barca used them in the Second Punic War. But, even if elephants and rhinos didn't have tusks or horns, they could both flatten a human with their immense body weight. With nothing short of an armored tank, there would be no stopping them. The moral of the story? If an animal is bigger than you, give it the right of way. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit like and subscribe. Once again, I'm Professor X and have a great day.